Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. We're here in beautiful and very cold Steamboat Springs, Colorado, where the temperature right now is negative 15 degrees. And I'm not talking Celsius, I'm not talking wind chill. Negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit. It is going to be a brisk morning out here for us. But we're here for a very special event in partnership with Bridgestone as well as Acura. They're hosting us at the Bridgestone Driving School, where we're going to do a lot of different winter driving school.
Yes.
And not just regular driving school. Winter driving school, where we're going to take all these cars out on the road and see really how to drive in winter conditions. And we wanted to relay some of that information to you all so that you can be safe. You know, it's February, it's time, for winter in your region. Maybe you live in California, but for a lot of you all, it's going to be winter time. So how to drive safely and what you should be doing to be safe in your tires.
Right, and the importance between the different types of tires, which we'll be able to sample and compare out on the really harsh conditions. So we're really excited to do that, and you're not going to want to miss, we're doing this in an Acura NSX.
Yeah. So
this is going to be really exciting. Can't wait to do it. So we're going to go ahead and head out and see you guys in a second. Like we said, this winter driving school is put on by Bridgestone, and as such, we are going to be driving on Bridgestone tires, of course, their latest models, and like I said, comparing the different types of tires in the same harsh conditions. So I do want to talk a little bit about what the actual tires are. So of course, in these really harsh conditions, what you're going to really want is a winter tire. So we do have their signature Blizzak tires. This is the DM-B2 to be real specific about it. But if you actually are somebody that buys winter tires, you probably know about this tire already because they occupy over 50% market share in the winter tire. It's really their signature winter tire offering, and that's what you're gonna get the most grip and stuff when out on the track and in the real world when you're driving on snow and ice.
Yeah. Alright guys, so here we are in the MDX, and right now we are on the Blizzak winter tires. So let's go ahead and take off.
Now start adding throttle. Add more throttle. A little more. Take it down to the right. A little more, a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. Brake hard right here. Now off the brake, turn in. And now take this straight. And then brake, off the brake, turn in. And that's the gate you want to go through. Now we're back. That was one lap.
Awesome. So what you're seeing here with the Blizzak wheels, and one of the biggest things about winter driving in general, is that you want to do one force at a time. So as we were doing throughout that entire loop, you want to brake and then turn, not brake and turn at the same time, because then you're dividing the forces at the same time.
Unless, of course, there's a burning oil tanker in front of you and you need to brake and turn sometimes. But
correct.
With the ABS systems they have now, they allow you to do that, as you saw in the exercises this morning. But that was a really nice job. Let's put it in park and switch drivers if that's the way you want to do it. Okay, as you unwind, go back to throttle a little bit more. A little harder, a little harder. And brake. Do a straight line. Keep it straight. Off the brake, turn in.
Alright guys, so we're tracking the MDX A-Spec here. We're on the Blizzak tires and we're going through the winter track. Now as you can see, this entire area is pretty much solid ice, but we're doing quite a few different tips that we were given for winter driving, and is really applicable stuff to what you may be experiencing in your neck of the woods. Basically braking without turning, because when you start to do the actions combined, that's going to be taking away from each of your
Right, separation and control.
So for instance, this corner is solid ice, and if you separate out the braking and then turn, you're going to get a lot more response and also faster feedback from the car, so you'll be able to respond quicker. Now of course it is ice, so you can expect to be sliding around quite a bit, but really I am pretty impressed at being able to go 40, 50 miles an hour on a track here in solid ice.
It's currently -8, so it is very icy. Very low grip, but yet, like Mason is saying, with proper technique, we have really quite excellent control here.
I didn't feel, during my portion, I didn't feel extremely unsafe going 50 miles an hour on ice, which is something that I'd say the vast majority of people could not say, based on technique as well as some of the different equipment that you can't get on the car.
Right, and with your, like we had already mentioned, the threshold braking, easing off, letting the ABS do some of the work, but then easing off a little bit, helping you keep that control and having the ability to steer properly.
Karina, go straight across here. Go straight across, Karina.
And Mason's doing what is known as threshold braking. So basically, he's right on the edge of where the ABS kicks in, but just a touch lighter than that. Got the weight transfer right there, side to side. And then we're going to be sampling back to back with that winter tire, the Alenza, which is an all-season tire. This is going to be a more luxury-oriented tire. This would be something that really a lot of people perhaps would put on something like an MDX and drive all year round. You got the really long 80,000 mile warranty, stuff like that. But we're going to be sampling them back to back to see how capable that the all-season is on the snow as well, although it won't be as capable, of course, as the winter tire.
So again, braking in a straight line is what's going to be the key element for making this work well for you. So resist a temptation to turn in early, so brake, off the brakes, and then just coast through a turn. Try to resist the gas until you feel the grip, and then you can go. This turn will always feel good because we're going uphill, so gravity's helping you. But gravity doesn't help you anywhere else.
Right.
Not bad, but you can definitely tell that the grip limit is lower.
Right. For sure.
But we're still getting around remarkably well. Yeah, the Blizzak allows you to get away with a certain amount of blending. It's still not correct, but it allows you to get away with a certain amount of it because the tires are designed for a certain degree of slip. An all-season tire, yes, it does have winter capability, but teaching yourself to really be, very deliberate about what you do gets you the best result.
And then finally, at the end, we have the Potenza. This is the RE980 AS Plus. I don't want to mess up the name, but this is a new high-performance all-season tire. And this is what they're going to have on the NSX models. And funnily enough, is actually what we have now on our Sonata inline as well. So it's going to be really cool to see how this
it translates, because our Sonata originally came with summer tires, and obviously living in the colder climate of Kentucky, we have some winter. It might not be a full northeast winter, but it does have some winter, so you can't drive around summer tires. It's completely unsafe. So the all-season tire, we'll see how it balances the performance as well as the winter capability later in this video. So you'll be able to see that, and we have a little bit of insight having actually owned and driven this tire, and it does have a 50,000 mile warranty now.
Brake pressure, turning pretty aggressive. The quicker I can open up my hands, the more power it'll give me.
Okay.
I'm braking hard down the hill. Gives you a little bit of rotation under the brakes. And here, this one's a bit worse than it looks. It's off camber. It doesn't look like a lot, but that takes away a lot of grip.
That corner?
Yep. It's pretty slow speed through there. Really just trying to help that front hook up. Ease off the brakes. Looking for that marker there.
Well, that was pretty fun. I mean, I have to admit, driving around an NSX on ice and completely drifting it everywhere, that's pretty awesome. And also, I think it really is a testament to, one of the things that they mentioned at this event is that the tire itself is enabling the car to perform the way that the engineers designed it to perform. So I know on this channel we really focus on cars and all of the features and specs and all the engineering of it, but it doesn't do much good if you have a crap tire that's not putting any of the power down on the pavement. You're going to slide everywhere, you're going to crash the car, and that's really something that we've been able to learn here.
Right,
and
there's so much engineering that goes into tires that no one really thinks about, and this has really been an eye-opening experience in that regard to see just how different it is, because to a lot of people, and honestly we're guilty of it as well, sometimes a tire just seems like a black circle. You don't think too much about it, but it really does impact the car's performance, especially when you're talking about extreme conditions like winter driving, like we saw. Some of the big takeaways of this for us was, of course, very, very impressive on the Blizzak tire. That was, definitely amazing. Yeah. I couldn't believe, because we're talking like it is so slick, and most of the time we were driving around it was -8 degrees. Absolute glass, and you could drive relatively normal, which I thought was just amazing, because that's not the experience we have at home with in the past driving different types of vehicles and stuff. The other big thing, though, which I thought was super impressive, is the all-season tire, the Alenza, because the people at Bridgestone were mentioning how much more advanced all-seasons have become in just the last decade, and when you actually try that out and test it out, you see that that's not just talk. That did actually happen, because you were driving in the same track, the same conditions, and you could see that while it can't do all the same things as the winter tire can do, you can get perhaps 75% or 80% of the same performance in these really harsh snow and ice conditions from an all-season that's just fine for you to drive to Florida in the summer. So I thought that was really impressive to see that combination where the all-seasons are really getting almost to the edge of the winter's tire performance.
Yeah, and something else that we want you to take away from this video is not just the tire itself, but also the winter driving in general. Obviously, it's February. It's probably going to be winter conditions for a lot of you watching this. So just in general, take a few big takeaways is do one thing at a time. I think that's really the big thing that I took away from this driving experience. When you hit the brakes, you're shifting all the weight up to the front wheels, and then after you come to a stop, then you're going to be able to have a lot more traction to turn. Where if you just try and turn and brake at the same time, you're splitting it, and it just doesn't work, and it's going to end up causing an accident.
Right, that was a really awesome way to look at it. You have 100% of grip, and you're splitting it between steering and braking and cornering. So you have to make that balance, and obviously if you keep your focus on one thing at a time, slowing down, then turning, that keeps the grip on just that one area, and it's at the same time
better able to perform in that. And it goes against human instinct to be looking at a giant snowbank and just be barreling forward and slam on the brakes and then say, okay, well, I'm not going to try and turn away from this. But it really does work out a lot better. And we've seen that, and you've seen it demonstrated through our video clips today of just the various different conditions of going through corners and turns and spins, and how much better it performs if you don't overcorrect, if you don't jerk stuff around, if you stay calm, if you brake gently if you can.
Stable, yes.
Everything, it's got to have some type of balance, and being very stable and smooth with it is a big part of winter driving. So guys, we really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I know this is outside of our normal bounds for our reviews, but it was a really cool opportunity, at least for us, to go out and learn about winter driving, and we thought we would share some of that information with you as well. You know, it was of course very fun to drive the NSX on ice and to have a blast with it and have all these drivers drive us around, do hot laps and all that fun stuff. That was all very fun, but also there was a very important part of learning about winter driving here, and you know, it's something that we're going to be taking in with our futures, and I think that's something that you guys should take as well out of this video. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, we would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below. Once again, this is kind of outside of our norms, so if you're just watching this and you may just want car reviews, we do have that on our channel. So this is not the only type of content we make. We have lots of car reviews, we have comparisons, all types of stuff. We also have a TikTok and Instagram, so please go follow those as well, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.
Why did you say that? We are going to be driving around on their signature Blizzak tires. Those are the... What? What? I didn't say Blizzak, did I?
I can tell you thought about it.
What is so funny? I didn't say Blizzak. I said Blizzak. I literally said Blizzak. Psyched me out because you said Blizzak so many times today.
There's also Blizzak, like the chapstick.
Oh yeah, Blizzak.
I'm so confused. I can't get it out.
And then what we're really doing is in the back-to-back portion of it, what we're really doing in the back-to-back portion is we're going to be taking this one, Alinza.
That's
back. Not you just interjected it through this potenza in here. This doesn't have anything to do with it. The other tire will be sampling back-to-back with the Blizzak. Damn it, I said Blizzak. Blizzak.
I cannot even get the name out. The Blizzak. I can't even breathe.
Nothing is.
I'm sorry.
It's not funny.
Okay.